Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It's Alicia and it is Monday morning. And true to my word, I am on to give you a review of the crepe paper I hauled yesterday at my art store from the desert. Folks, first of all, let's start with this silver crepe paper. I don't think at home we would call this crepe paper. Here's what I discovered when I opened up the roll. Now, I'm glad I didn't check this in the store because it may have deterred me from buying the paper and that would have been a big mistake. So when I opened it up, I realized it's actually more like our regular paper. But what they've done is they've scored it on the front so it looks like crepe paper, you know, that natural crinkle all crepe paper has. But folks, it doesn't have it on the other side. It's scored to look like that. It's actually more like our regular paper with a metallic coating that makes it feel more vinyl-y on one side. So when I opened it, true confession, I was a little bit nervous because I told you I was really shocked that I was good at making crepe paper rosettes. I watched Lily's video long before I ever attempted one, months before I ever attempted one. Because I'm hard on things and a messy maker, I thought I was going to suck at crepe paper rosettes. I thought I would rip them. So many people said they struggled with them. Tony at Craft Bridge says she's terrible at them, so I was like, oh gosh, if Tony's bad at them, girl, stay away. So I didn't even bother attempting it. Okay? I was a little disappointed in myself. I'll tell you why. I finally needed to make a bunch for my swap with Carmen. And I sat down and I realized I was shocked that there is some kind of relationship between my brain and my hands with this, and I make them really easily and fast and well and even without even looking at it. So I was like, why were you so afraid of this? But am I as good at paper rosettes? No, folks. The truth is I should be able to make those without needing a die. Like, it's the same idea as the crepe paper. You know, you just fold it in, fan it in. No, folks, I am not half as good at the paper rosettes. Those I need a die cutter for. I have to be really careful when I'm folding. Those take me like so much concentration. But the crepe paper ones are easy. So, had I opened up this paper at the art store and found out it was regular paper and not crepe paper, I wouldn't have bought it. Because I would have thought, I'm not going to run this through my die cutter. Can I do this old school? I've never been able to do it old school at home. Well, what's nice about what they've done is, because they've coated this with this metallic vinyl thing, it does give it a little more give. And the paper's a little thinner than our paper at home. So, folks, okay, so I promised myself that I would not edit it, meaning I would make this the way I make every rosette, meaning this took me less than a minute and a half this morning. I wasn't going to edit it. I was going to show it to you as is, uncut, whatever. Now, you can see it has a tiny bit of unevenness. It's not a complete perfect circle. But it's pretty close, folks. I'm going to show you. There's a piece of Sunny Days layering ephemera, which is a perfect circle. Put that over my rosette, and you can see I'm not that far off. Which means, no, my rosette making skills have not improved. What it tells me is this paper is easier to make paper rosettes with without a die cutter. So this was my first time making it. I used my tiny attacher. It went right through, no problem. And I used the tiny attacher, not my regular stapler, just to check it out. And I was able to make this just like I make all my rosettes without looking at it. Folks, almost even. I could run it through the die cutter to make it perfect, or I can fussy cut it to make it perfect. But I was able to make a regular paper rosette using this paper without a die cutter. Now, I'm a huge fan. I am definitely getting that sparkly green one for the holidays for Christmas. Because so pretty, folks. So pretty. So the silver is amazing. They have a gold and they have a sparkly green. I think the green is the prettiest. So I actually am going to go get that and bring that back to the States for the holidays. But look how cute this is. And this was without focusing, folks. Like I make all my rosettes. Winner product. Winner product. Well, what about the other crepe paper? Oh, well, again, shock. So I love the Dollar Tree streamers for making rosettes. They're nice and thin. They have cute little patterns. I like the pattern ones. So I haul them every chance I see them. I just store them. I brought one with me. And I just, at night, I watch a documentary and I make a bunch of rosettes. Folks, I guess I've never worked with good quality crepe paper. I know several of you have ordered good quality crepe paper from Etsy before, and I have not. So, two things. I was shocked at how thick this crepe paper is. It is super thick. And it actually made it a little harder for me to do this. Like, I'm so used to the thin, and because I have that relationship between my brain and my hands and I'm not thinking while I'm making, I almost made like a couple of serious mistakes with this rosette. Like, look, this one's not as even as this paper one, folks. Like, I wanted to show it to you. I didn't do any editing. I didn't do any altering. I want to show you, like, this is how I make rosettes in under a minute. I want to show them as is, warts and all. So this one is less even than this one. Why? This paper is thinner than this crepe paper. This crepe paper is super thick, good quality. I'm used to like crepe paper being like easy to tear. You know, you have to be careful when you're gluing on it because it can get ruined. Oh no, folks. This is super thick crepe paper, really good quality. And look how dimensional it became. Because it's actually good quality, you can lift it up to make it like floral-like. So I was like, okay. So downside, I need to be a bit more careful when I'm making them until I get the hang of it. Because as you can see, the paper one came out much more even than the crepe paper, because this is way thicker material and I wasn't expecting that. So if we were to put the perfectly round circle sunny days over this, you can see that I have some unevenness. So if I'm going to use this one, I'd have to either fussy cut here, and sometimes that's risky, folks, because it's like a haircut. You start cutting and you trim away too much, at least I do. So I might just run it through the die cutter, especially because this is so thick, I'm not worried about it tearing. I often die cut my crepe paper from Dollar Tree and it's fine. But so I know some people have said it tears on them. Mine seems to come out okay. I'm using the Sissics for that. I don't know what other people are using. I haven't tried it on the Cuttlebug. Maybe it will tear. I don't know. But I am going to run it through to even it out. But now I have learned that it's a bit thicker and better quality. Clearly better quality. I'm not going to have any problem gluing on this. I can layer on this. I'm going to glitter this thing up. This is gonna take glitter. This I think won't take glitter as well. I will do another test and tell you. I have a feeling that this paper might not glitter up as well, but this is gonna glitter up beautifully. So there's pros and cons. I'd rather have good quality, and this is good quality. But it's harder for me to work with, and I have to be a little more practiced. You have to do some practicing to get it perfect, but that's okay. And I don't mind trimming it up, and this is super tough crepe paper, folks. So this was under $2 for this whole roll. Oh, I am a huge fan. I will be buying more of this here. And my husband is now nervous. He's like, you're not bringing home a suitcase of crepe paper. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Because I'm loving these both. So these were great buys, folks. And I promised you I'd share. I have not tried the patent leather paint yet. Because I'm still working on some other stuff for Daniel that needs to dry. But when I do, I am going to share it with you. Absolutely share it with you. Thank you so much for all your support. You know, I tried to edit that video of the spa. First time having titles coming in. First time. Clearly, I need practice on iMovie because I thought the version I looked at on my screen didn't have that weird abrupt ending. It had a fade, but clearly I didn't set the fade properly. So thank you for bearing with my crappy filming yesterday and still being so supportive about your comments. You guys are really generous because I know those videos were crappy, folks. But I did want to give you a glimpse. That art store is like loaded. Every inch is like stacked really high. And what I should have done was gone through each section very slowly, even if the video took 25 minutes. And I think I just rushed, and I apologize. And as for the spa video, I just think my mind was just not on filming. And we know that technology and I are not always best friends, and I need to be focused when filming. And I was not. So thank you for being so kind and supportive, because you were generous, and I really appreciated it. I'm going to be back on shortly with another video, because guess what? Do you remember when I did the last flat mail challenge? Who was the first entry to arrive? Miss Betty Waldeck. Well, guess what, folks? Sunday, right? Yesterday, we come home. The mail arrived. And Miss Betty Waldeck, you are our first entry in the flat mail challenge to the Holy Land. And I can't wait to share it with y'all. So I'm going to come back on and do that quick share in 2 seconds or so. My hair is wet because later today after making, I am going and getting it cut, folks. Because I do not like this haircut, as you know. And so I'm going to do something about it. You know, it's a little bit brave to go get your hair cut with a hairdresser you've never talked to or worked with. But I'm doing it. I'm doing it. We're going to go cut my hair. And hopefully, when I come back later today, it'll be looking a heck of a lot better than it has been. Thanks so much, folks. Take care. Have a great day. And I'll be back in a couple of minutes with Miss Betty's entry. Yay, Betty. Again, first entry. Amazing. Take care, folks.